Hey, how you doing? My name's Ryan, and today I'm taking a look at the recently announced LEGO Star Wars UCS Republic Gunship and finding out if it's a stud or a dud. Now, because of the size, price, and honestly hype around this set, I'm going to be a bit more thorough in my analysis. I'm going to look at this set through a couple of different lenses, that of build quality, minifigure, price, practicality, and opportunity costs. After all, this is a UCS set and also the winner of the LEGO Star Wars fan vote. Now, some of these metrics just might not apply to you, and that's totally okay. If you look at this set and think immediately, not for me, that's totally fine. Same with the inverse. I know a couple friends that are buying this set day one and cannot be convinced otherwise. All that's okay, this is just my opinion, and I hope you use videos like this to make smarter buying decisions. So with that, let's get on to the first metric, the build quality. The shape of the gunship is really good in my opinion. The plating on the outside looks very clean, and the balance of stud and tile is handled very well. The wings look sturdy but also thin, and the various turrets are phenomenal. Most of the large color details is actually handled in the plating, and it looks really good, while the smaller details appear to be stickers, except for the various domes, both in clear and red, which is fine by me. I'm not the biggest fan of the large slopes used on the top spires in the back of the ship, but I think the rest is great. My main problem with this set in terms of the build quality is the empty hull. Now, this is 100% accurate to the real ship, but in a UCS model, it's kind of a lose-lose. You either don't add sliding doors and make a lot of Star Wars fans upset, or you do add them and force a lot of your large model to be hollow. If there were maybe more figures in this set to fill up the gunship, that'd be fine, and we'll get the figures in a little bit, but this design flaw, or rather design feature, makes me think that the Republic gunship might not have been the best choice for a UCS set. The idea of a transport ship where the main feature is to carry figures just doesn't really work in this large scale. I think this set is actually twice as big as figure scale, and it works well for a display set, but if it's a display set whose main feature is to carry figures, you're kind of forced into, again, that lose-lose situation. So I think a ship more like the Nebulon B frigate works better in UCS because you're allowed to scale it up without even needing to worry about minifigures. So really, my main problem with the build of this set isn't in the model itself, it's the decision to make the Republic gunship a UCS set. For what we got, at least where there are bricks, I think the Republic gunship looks pretty incredible, but it's a major disappointment to see such a large set with a hollow interior and very little display quality when the doors are open. But how about the minifigures? UCS sets can be pretty hit or miss when it comes to figures. Some have a really great selection, like the Millennium Falcon, or the Mos Eisley Cantina, or the Death Star, while others tend to focus more so on the model, and the figures are kind of an afterthought, like the Imperial Star Destroyer or the A-Wing. I think the Republic gunship falls more so in the latter category than the first. I read an interview from the designers of the gunship saying they really just wanted to include the minifigures as a nice little touch, sort of that little finishing pièce de résistance, because they didn't want to hide a major figure or a new release behind an expensive set, almost like a paywall. And that's respectable, but I think it's okay to do so because the secondary market does exist and people will find a way to get those figures, even if they won't buy the set. Of the two figures included, Mace Windu is a nice choice, but I think LEGO would have benefited from including a less used Jedi like Ki-Adi-Mundi or Kit Fisto. Yeah, Jedi Bob would have been fun to have, but he's more of an inside joke than an actual character, so I can see why LEGO did not include him. The generic Clone Trooper Commander is a disappointment, considering Commander Cody was right there. He's a character that makes sense for the gunship, and a character fans have been clamoring for a while. Again, it all comes back to the designer's decision not to include a new exclusive figure behind what would essentially be a LEGO paywall. Now, if you know me, I'm a figure guy, I'm all about minifigures, that's kind of my main collection outside of the modular buildings, so I think this is a mistake because I'm more than happy to pay $50 to $100 for a figure and not buy the set, but I can see their logic. Some people might like their decision, I tend not to. And all of this figure talk wouldn't really be an issue if the gunship wasn't a transport ship to begin with, if it didn't have a hollow interior to carry figures. They could have included maybe a couple more just cheap clone troopers, and that'd be okay. So the minifigures, while not a main focus of this set, definitely is a sticking point. especially considering LEGO did ask the fans what figures they wanted, and I think they gave us none of them. How about the price? The Gunship will retail for $350 for 3,292 pieces. Now, I've been dinged in the past for using price to part ratio to help determine if a set is a good value, and I'm still sticking by that it is a good metric, but not the whole picture. Obviously, expensive new prints, new colors, big pieces, minifigures, and licensing costs should all be factored into the equation here. In looking at the Republic Gunship, it's about 10 cents per part, which is pretty good, honestly, especially for a Star Wars set. As a reminder, the Razor Crest was around 13 cents per part. The large dome pieces in both dark red and clear do increase the price, especially because it looks like they're all prints as well. That being said, I don't think $350 is the right price here, especially considering we just got the Daily Bugle, another large licensed set for $300 and included 25 minifigures, several of which were brand new exclusive figures. So I think the UCS label kind of pushed the Republic Gunship into adult territory and raised the price artificially. Whereas I think a smaller, maybe minifigure scale model could have had a bigger impact for, say, $250, or you could have also included more figures and justified maybe $300. In the end, I think $350 is just a little bit too high. Now, how about the practicality of this set? This is the first of two new metrics I want to add when evaluating these large sets. Things like, do I have space for it? How do I want to display it? Is this ship swooshable? I personally don't find this set to have as big of a visual impact as, say, the Star Destroyer or the Millennium Falcon, despite kind of being pretty close in size. Nor does it have the play features needed to actively do anything with the ship besides open and close the doors and reveal the hollow interior. I definitely have wall space to display the Gunship if I want to, using a shelf mounting bracket, but it might look kind of silly because of just how big it is. Practicality definitely is a subjective measure, but it's something to consider for sure. Same goes for the last metric I want to go over, opportunity costs. Now, opportunity costs are essentially what you would miss out on if you bought this set. Now, I'm a YouTuber that really can't afford to buy every set he wants, so I have to budget. I have to think about what sets I want to spend my money on. With a budget of $350, I could either buy this set, or the upcoming Guardian ship, Endgame Final Battle, and the Razor Crest. And while the Republic Gunship does look pretty good, I don't think it's worth missing out on sets that I think have a better value and better personal connection to me. So with a questionable concept, sleek but hollow build, great shaping and details, beautiful prints, disappointing but kind of expected figures, and a slightly high price, I'm gonna say that the UCS Republic Gunship is a stud, but just barely. With low practicality, disappointing minifigure prospects, and arguably better sets coming down the pipeline later this year, I think I'm gonna pass on the UCS Republic Gunship. It's great to see LEGO deliver what fans have always wanted, but I'm just not one of those fans. But what do you think of the LEGO Star Wars UCS Republic Gunship? Are you gonna get it? Do you think it's worth it? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.